Welcome anyone to my YouTube channel. This is Ever, aka Two Beasts to Kill You, aka the Beast with the Least. And I think you've seen the title of the video already. Obviously, if you're clicking on it, I've got a lot to say right now about what's going on in the gaming industry and just some of the absolute idiocy that's going on and just the industry as a whole. But obviously, I'll get into it. But first, let's hit that intro. All right. So, obviously, the title. This game, maybe I won't put this as the actual title, but yeah, the gaming industry is fucked. Um, and there's just no way around it. The way everything, and I know I've already put out a video saying, gaming as a whole sucks, but like with recent news, especially after the awesome like summer game season showcases and everything that we just had, for some of this stuff to come out um recently, it just shows that like you can't be excited as a gamer anymore. You just can't, because as soon as you're up here, these companies find ways to put you down here. And yeah, it's stupid. It is really stupid. Um but yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on. So obviously, right here, as you can see, this is nothing's been confirmed. These are just reports still as of this recording. But Compulsion Games, Double Fine, and Ninja Theory are all, they're at risk of being shut down. You see it right here. Um, did come out that Ninja Theory was shut down, but as of now, I still don't see an official thing about it being shut down. I know a lot of gaming outlets are reporting on it, but I still haven't seen anything that's official. And then specific, or not specific, but like and for Compulsion Games and Double Fine, apparently they're in discussion to to spin off, to be on their own. And actually that was apparently the goal too with uh Ninja Theory as well. Let me see if I know I have it as a bookmark here somewhere. That the reason, yeah, right here. So Microsoft allegedly planned to close or spin off Ninja Theory uh, already before it had revealed their new game, Senua. But they let them show the game off because apparently that would be the way to make them look sexy, to try and get them to maybe someone who will want to buy it, because supposedly Microsoft is willing to part ways with the IP and the tech that are used for the Hellblade Senua games and all that stuff. Um, but still, like, yeah, like I just like we're seeing another just gut punch of, and that we're gonna lose more studios most likely, unless the better thing happens and they spin off. But the problem with that as well, I see a lot of people say that like, oh yeah, no, that should be what happens is they spin off, um, go independent. But the thing is, that's still not the best idea too, because how long before maybe they might shut down on their own? I could be completely off base and they thrive on their own. But we've seen that like that's not always the case. Um, some of them just, some studios can't survive and go back to doing something with another big publisher and everything. Um, and yeah, again, just to have the Xbox showcase, the PlayStation State of Play, the Summer Games Fest. I know some people enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it, but the Nintendo Direct and everything. And then this comes out. And I know that Asha Sharma, recently said that Xbox was going to have to reset. They need to get back to a zero state, because obviously with everything, purchasing Activision, all those studios, and then the whole going not third party, but releasing games on PlayStation and everything. they're trying. She's trying to get Xbox back to a state where it's like, okay, this is the business, and the business is good. That unfortunately might be something where, yes, studios are going to have to be closed. People are going to have to get laid off. Because apparently, too, ZeniMax is now, um, you know, going to suffer layoffs, apparently. Again, nothing's still been confirmed, but, the fact that it's out there, uh, you know, especially after this whole thing of them saying an Xbox reset, like, it it is one of those things of like where there's smoke, there's fire, kind of. Um, it's just, yeah, it's very. I don't know. Yeah. Again, I put out that video of like, the gaming kind of sucks right now, but just I think the industry is fucked in a way. Uh, Now, Double Fine for their what do you call it? For their own thing or whatever. They did put out this emoji tweet. Uh, Maybe they think like this is funny or something, or it again because it's all rumors. Uh, you can't really know for sure if it's happening until it happens. Um, Especially in a case like this because of it is just rumors. It's just reporting, and until we get the official press release that hey, yeah, we had to we had to get rid of some studios. Yeah. Um, but that's not the only thing. So let me show you this picture right here. Let me go back to this because there's now even reports of Bungie literally going to lose half their cores, half their workers. They're going to lose half their working force. So somebody put this up, the game studio size comparison, because another thing that I'll get to, unfortunately, um, is a lot of this obviously is now, the internet is, the internet, and it's all Xbox bad. But like, it's not just Xbox. We're hearing about EA probably going to be doing layoffs as well. And then, of course, the aforementioned Bungie, half of them, they have 850 people currently working there. So if half the people are gone, that's over 400. Then you look at Double Fine, they have 50 to 100. Compulsion has 90. Ninja Theory has 140. So we're looking at 280 to 310. Whereas that's still less than what Bungie would lose if they lose 50% of their workforce. And I'm not using this as a like, oh, Xbox is bad or PlayStation is bad. This is me talking about that the game industry is fucked. That game prices are rising. Supposedly, South of Midnight from Compulsion Games cost $100 million to make. That game should not have cost $100 million, especially when you hear about a game like Expedition 33 costing like a tenth of that. So South of Midnight should not be costing that much. We're hearing about 400 million for Gears of War E-Day. Concord apparently cost in the 400 million range. I don't know how much High Guard cost, but these are games that are all like failures, didn't sell well. Obviously, Gears of War E-Day hasn't come out. I'm assuming that one won't be a failure. But when you're getting these high profile like releases or just releases from high profile publishers that cost so much money and then they don't make that money back, the only thing that the publishers look at is like, well, time to get rid of people because they can't they can't they can't, their bottom line has to stay. The people, the higher ups, the people the shareholders, the people who run the company, they can't lose money. They have to make sure that they're still making so much that they don't know what to do with. And so that ends up forcing a lot of the people at the bottom to lose their job. And it's been way too big of an issue for who knows how many years now, like 5 to 6 years, at least since COVID. We started to see it get higher and higher, and obviously after COVID, it got worse, which makes sense. You know, there was gonna be a downward trend after COVID because everyone was inside. And then once they could start going outside, they stopped playing games. They stopped buying games. They stopped spending money on games. And instead of looking at that, companies just said, well, it's got to go back at some point, or just keep going the way we're going and spend so much money on everything, marketing, development, whatever it is. And it's got to go, it's got to go correct at one point, at some point. And it didn't, obviously, because that's not how it works. And yeah, now we're just, if you've listened to my podcast, obviously I've talked to death about just layoff after closure after closure. And, you know, it is just it is so disheartening when you see this all the time, where it is just more and more and more. And that brings me to another topic that I'll shoehorn into this, that I am I am very sick and tired of the games industry media doing the doom and gloom shit. And it's obviously mainly for Xbox, so I'm going to focus on that. Um because instead of just talking about how this just sucks, it's about they just keep doing they keep harping about how Xbox is basically the issue when that's not the case. Xbox is not the issue. Companies that are only concerned about the bottom line are the issue. Like, yeah. So this is from Polygon. I'm not gonna fucking read the article. I don't care. Because I'm giving him a click already, unfortunately. But this is a rage bait title. Microsoft should get out of games before it does more damage. You know, like their thing is Microsoft should just get out. Xbox should be no more, apparently. Or maybe to spin it off. Again, I'm not reading this stupid thing. Which, no. Like, come on. When we have this is what PlayStation has shut down since 2020. Gorilla Cambridge, Manchester Studio, Japan Studio, Pixel Opus, London Studio, Neon Koi, Firewalk Studios, Bluepoint Games, Dark Outlaw Games. All right. That's what they've shut down. Right here, if you look at this, they've canceled The Last of Us Online, a Twisted Metal live service game, a God of War live service game, an unannounced live service open world new IP game, a Spider-Man live service game. Like, not only that, but we all know what happened with Concord. Here's again that same 8 studios. Bungie's, you know, like I talked about, they're planning significant layoffs at Bungie after everything that's been going on with Destiny 2 and Destiny Marathon. You know, and then there was something a few weeks back, 2 weeks back or whatever it was, that like their their first party game sales have been on a downward trend. It went up a little bit with Ghost of Yote, but even the Ghost of Yote like sales didn't really do anything well enough to really make a huge difference, because that's just that game was never going to sell as well as the first one because of all the stuff around it. There was too much controversy. Now, obviously, look, I'm not going to just say that the gaming industry needs to be needs to be killed off or something. Like, there needs to be a reset, but there needs to be some kind of like there needs to be some accountability learned by some of these higher ups, um, which I don't think is going to happen, unfortunately. But yeah, there's one more thing I want to talk about with this whole like anti Xbox thing, because this one really just kind of just got me like, wow. And I'm gonna, because I want to hear it, so I'm gonna put on my headphones. This is Greg Miller of Kind of Funny, formerly IGN. He's a real fucking piece of work. Um, yeah, let's get to this.
Xbox is losing money hand over fist. They are not doing well. That's my problem. And that's your problem, parents, is that we're fucking smart. If you took any of us and gave us control of Xbox, we would walk into Satya Nadella and be like, we're not getting rid of any of these fucking studios. What we're doing is stopping fucking hardware. You fucked up the world. You fucked up the entire industry by wanting to go after this AI shit, and now no one can buy components. So it doesn't matter if I get Gears as an exclusive as an Xbox. You can't buy a new Xbox because it's too fucking expensive. We can't make new Xboxes because the components are too expensive. The thing that would be the shot in the fucking arm right now would be, hey, we have a brand new spanking console called Helix. That motherfucker's too expensive. So Satya Nadella, eat a big bag of shit, you son of a bitch. You fucked this into the ground. So now we're gonna save the Xbox brand the only way we know how, and that's appealing to the gamers. That's keeping all of these studios, letting them make cool art, and we're gonna fucking publish it everywhere. Why the fuck are we talking about exclusives right now? What goddamn reality are you living in right now, Xbox leadership, that we're thinking exclusives are what's gonna bring people back to this platform? Get out of the fucking hardware. Double Fine, we need an awesome fun game in 9 months to put on Game Pass. I'm going over and I'm saying, Outer Worlds devs, you're making Fallout New Vegas 2. Those kids who made the fucking Fallout London mod, I'm giving them money and we're fucking making a thing out of that too. Like, I'm here right now and I'm talking to Satya Nadella while he's this giant fucking bag of shit because fuck this guy. You are not going anywhere with this brand if we don't have a vision for what it is. I don't know how you cannot look at the failure of the announcement and generation that was the Xbox One and not go, we will never do that again. We will never step foot on a stage and not have a message we believe in. Nobody believes in any of this except the fucking money. I hope all these studios can get out and go have successful lives, and that's not possible, and I hate that.
So yeah, you see right there. I think this is something that is one of the other issues with the gaming industry is the media. Obviously, I showed you that Polygon article, or at least the title of it. But then you have guys like this who they have a sizable audience. They're gonna have enough people to look at what they're saying, and he says stupid shit like that. That like Xbox should just get out of the gaming business. No more consoles, go third party, which is hilarious to say because obviously we know why. He's a PlayStation fanboy. And that's an issue is that it seems like a lot of games media are PlayStation fanboys because one of the things that has been a big talking point is exclusive sell consoles. Exclusives, exclusives, exclusives. Then Xbox comes out and says, hey, yeah, we're going back to doing some exclusives. And now everyone's freaking out and saying, no, exclusives should not be a thing. That's going to hurt the console somehow, which I don't understand. So, yeah, this is something, again, I wanted to just shoehorn, but, you know, it's maybe more of a symptom of what's going on with, the game industry just being not in a great place. So yeah, I've been ranting a little too long, I think now. So I'll go ahead and end this video. Um, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna do my little outro thing, but yeah.